For this next video, our focus will be on cash discount and trade and cash discount, these two. Okay, let's proceed with the cash discount. So cash discount is basically offered after a purchase is made. Okay, after you are making a purchase, confirm, and then the retailers, the seller will actually give you the cash discount offer. Okay, different from the trade discount, right? Trade discount is offered before you're making a purchase. You just actually look at the item and decide how many that you want to get the item, and they offer you the trade discount depending on what is the bulk, or actually what is actually the number of items that you want to buy. Okay, as for cash discount, after you are making a purchase, okay, that is one of the differences. And one correction is that previously on my previous video, I did say that wholesaler, whatever discount offered by wholesaler and manufacturer is known as trade discount. So it is actually wrong, because wholesalers and manufacturer can also offer cash discount. Alright. On our case, usually consumer, we will see a cash discount as a discount offered at a hyperstore and so on. They have a maybe mega sale day, right? They have a discount actually displayed at being hanging there, right? The discount and so on. That is sort of a cash discount, but the one that we're going to discuss today is actually a discount being given, right, in a state that the payment is not being paid directly after you are making a purchase. Okay, so as you can see here, the cash discount is actually offered to the customer who pay their bills within the stated time, which means that there is no issue for those who actually go there, buy and pay on time. Of course you will get the cash discount because you pay on time. It is what actually a seller wants. But then there's also a situation where they delay the pay. Okay, there are some situations that the payment was delayed. So cash discount is actually an instrument to stipulate, to actually force a customer to pay early. Alright, let's look at this example. Offer terms 3/10 net 20. This is the kind of terms being given, usually given when they want to give a cash discount. And this kind of terms, usually if there's any cash discount, it is actually shown in the invoice. This is actually the case for those who are not really pay directly after the purchase is made, right? So they write it down in the invoice, right, like this. If it is written 3/10 net 20, it means that 3% discount is given for payment within 10 days, right? And the due date is actually in 20 days. So maybe if you pay in 10 days, you will get 10% discount from the price, and then the full amount is due in 20 days. So what happened after that actually depend on the seller. Maybe you will need to pay more. Maybe there's an interest. But there is actually another thing for us to discuss. Now let's stick to this. So sometimes the terms can be more. So basically for this one, it is 3/10 net 20 and 3% in 3 days and net 20. Let's say we try to change a bit. It can also be like, okay, maybe 5%, 5/10 3/15 net 20. Meaning that if you pay in 10 days, you will get 3% discount. If you pay in 10 days, you will get what did I say just now? 3/10 5/15, right? Okay, so if you pay in 10 days, you will get 3% discount, and 5/15 means if you pay in 15 days, you will actually get 5. It is actually upside down. So actually 5%, 5/10 and 3/15. There is more logic. So if you pay in 10 days, you will get 5% discount. If you pay in 15 days, you will get 3% discount. what happens if you actually unable to pay within that 15 days? There will be no discount, but you need to make a payment within 20 days. That is what it means by net 20 here. So if you actually exceed that duration, you will need to pay more. I don't know, maybe it depends on the seller. You have a penalty and so on. Okay, now that is, so you need to be familiar with this term. Okay, you need to be familiar with this kind of terms for the cash discount. In cash discount, right, there are, because of we are talking about a transaction that not being made immediately after the purchase was made, right? Bear that in mind. So just imagine that a payment that is actually you buy that things, right? You don't actually pay on that time. So the payment was delayed. Okay, that is actually what happened here. So given that kind of situation, and given this kind of offer being given, we can actually come out, you will need to actually discuss this two situation. This is actually more of a situation where borrowing can take advantage of the cash discount. For this topic, right, it is actually discussed on how, if, what happen if you don't have, you want to buy that things, right, but then you don't have money immediately. Actually you can, for this example, let's try to take this example, right, you need to pay in 10 days to get 3% discount. But what to do if you don't have, you cannot actually get the amount of money to make a settlement in 3 days, to actually, not settlement, to pay in 3 days, to pay in 10 days. So one thing that you can do is borrow, right? Bank usually offer short-term loan for this kind of case. Okay, so you can actually borrow, but then you need to think whether borrowing from that institution, that banks, will actually benefit you or not. So you need to think of that, right? We discussed that on that part. And this one is partial payment of invoice. Okay, for partial payment of invoice, it is actually happen to those who thinks that he has that money at first. So when he see this kind of offer, okay, I will be able to pay in 10 days. So I'll get the 10%, 3% discount. But then, while making a payment, that person realized that he don't really have enough money to pay for all. So what happened now? He can able to actually pay partial, but just a part of it. So before the end of this offer terms, right, 10 days, 3%, he actually pay only part of it. So partial. Basically, part of it paid before the end of the offer terms, and another part paid after 10 days. So how to calculate? Right? That person still entitled for the discount basically, but just on the part that he pay, which is the first half. Right? The part that he pay before 10 days. After that, he not entitled to get this 3% discount. So how do we actually pay when the payment was made partially like that? Okay, we are going to discuss that on this part. Okay, now let's try to look at borrowing to take advantage of the cash discount. Right, it is quite crowded here. Alright, so in the case of insufficient cash to take advantage of the cash discount offered, short-term loan can be made, right? Usually from a bank. So how actually, this is the formula used. Okay, the formula used to calculate for whether you should or should not make the should or should not you borrow it. Okay, so basically, by looking at the cash discount that you get minus with the interest that being charged by the bank, if you get amount saved, it means that, right, borrowing is better. But if you try to calculate and you see that when you try you want to make a loan, cash discount minus with the interest, you get amount loss. So better not to borrow. That is actually one way. The other situation is actually by using annualized cost. Alright, another formula that we can use is actually the annualized cost of not taking the cash discount. This is the formula. Okay, this is the formula. So basically, in a situation where you get a cash discount, right, just like that, like this one, right, in a situation that you get a cash discount but you want to decide whether should you or should you not making borrow the money, right? So what you can do is calculate for the annualized cost and compare it with the annual interest offered by the bank. So later you'll see if this annualized cost is lower, right, it's better for you to not actually take the cash discount. Just pay it normally because the cost is lower compared of you taking the loan, right? So that is annualized cost. Annualized cost will be should be calculated and compared with the annual interest. So which one actually is larger? Let's say if by taking a loan, right, the interest, the annual interest is lower compared to annualized cost. So it is actually a good decision to borrow from the bank, to actually take granted for by borrowing and take granted of the cash discount. Okay, that is by using this formula, which is discount rate. What is the discount offered? Over 1 minus the discount offered times with 360 over period of not taking cash discount days, right? Basically, the period of not taking cash discount in days. So, as I said, the loan is usually offered a short-term loan from bank. Okay, so basically, the period of not taking a cash discount, let's say the net, let's try to look at the previous example. Okay, 310 net 20, right? The total day full payment should be made in 20 days. Okay, so 10 days to get this 3%. After that, you need to settle it in 20 days. Basically, what will be the period of not taking the cash discount? Okay, for the first 10 days is the period of taking the cash discount. So we have 20 minus 10, another 10 days left of not taking the cash discount. That will be the period of not taking the cash discount. That is what we mean here. We are going to discuss further in example after this. Okay, and that is actually about the borrowing. Okay, now let's talk about a partial payment. For the partial payment, it is simply a calculation, right? When you make a partial payment, it is a situation where buyer pays only part of the invoice within the discount period. And so basically when it really pay parts of it, so he also entitled part of the discount, not all. So how to calculate it? Amount outstanding equal to cash price minus this, the amount paid plus proportionate fraction of discount, cash discount. So how to calculate this proportionate fraction of cash discount? By using this formula. We are going to discuss it more on example, or a lot simpler if you can use this. It will be a lot simpler. Amount outstanding, which is the amount that you need to pay, equal to the cash price minus credit given. So credit given here is actually being calculated by using this formula. Amount paid, the amount that you have paid, right, before the end of the offer, right, over 1 minus the discount rate. So you will get the credit given and then cash price minus the credit given. That will give you the amount that you need to pay by actually considering the partial discount that you entitle. Right? So that is it about cash discount. And next we have trade and cash discount. Basically, this is just simple things. Trade and cash discount is actually the two discount offered together, offered simultaneously to the buyer. Okay, so this kind of thing will be discussed further in example. Alright, so that's it. Thank you.